In today's video, I'm going to be baking something that you wouldn't normally associate with Kamados. I'm going to be doing a hot smoked cheesecake. Here's a little quick preview of what it looks like when it was finished. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do a cheesecake in the Kamado when you can just do it in the oven, in the house? Well, first of all, the easy answer is because you can add a nice smoky flavour to it. And I have found over time that anything with a creamy texture, whether it's sauces or, in this case, cheesecake, smoky flavours go extremely well. Another good reason is because it's a great gateway into baking in your Kamado, because you can cook this to temperature rather than time. And this just enables you to figure out those timing differences between a Kamado and, say, a fan-assisted oven or a gas oven. And this will then set you up for baking in the future, because you will then have a good idea of how much longer it's going to take. It's also a great option for a dessert if you're having friends or family around, because you can do this in advance, 1, 2, even 3 days before, and it just won't add any extra stress onto the actual day. And lastly, at least in my case, I have a fan assisted oven and the temperatures fluctuate up and down quite wildly, and that's because of the on-off cycle. The Kamado, once you've got it set to a temperature, it just holds it. So target temperature for this cook is going to be 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on what you want to use, and that's going to be for the whole cook as well. The plan is, on the first bit, generally you bake the base at a higher temperature, but I'm going to sit it really down low and get that radiant heat from the ceramic deflector plates, and that should give me a higher temperature than what the dome will say, and then lift it right up inside the top of the dome to try and get that 150 degrees Celsius, 300 degrees Fahrenheit baking for the actual filling and the final part of the cook. So while I'm waiting for this to get up to temperature, I'll show you the ingredients. So for the base, we've got some dark brown sugar, unsalted butter, just plain digestives, and then some sea salt. And then for the filling, we have some eggs, vanilla extract, mascarpone, sour cream, cottage cheese, and then just regular granulated sugar. These are not the correct quantities, I'm just showing you what's going in them. The description will have all the correct weights if you do decide to follow this along. Okay, as you can see, it's practically on 150 degrees Celsius, 300 degrees Fahrenheit, only ever so slightly off, but that's more than good enough for me. If you do use a monolith and you have this style of top vent, that is about a 30 degrees opening, or if you prefer to measure with limbs, I'd say it's about 1 thumb width, about 1.5 fingers. So here we have the base ready to go in. Into the bottom, right in the middle, and we're going to bake this for about 25 minutes. I'll check it at about 20 minutes in, but it's usually around the 25-minute mark at this temperature anyway. And like I said, the radiant heat from those bottom ceramics are just going to help bake it. Let's have a quick look at this now. Oh, that's looking pretty good now. You can actually see where it's actually come away from the tin a little bit, and it's slightly darker around the tops of the crust part. So take that out now. I'm just going to let that cool now to room temperature. In the meantime, I can get the filling mixed up, ready to go in. And this, I'll change the setup for this now as well, so it's in that much higher position, and then it's ready to just chuck straight in. So just to quickly show you, there it is. I've just literally put it in. Temperature's going to recover, and in the wood chip feeder, the smoking chips are going to go. As you can see, the typical rain. This rain has really worked against me on this one. Let's see how we're doing though. I have tested it a couple of times throughout. I'm hoping it's going to be done now though. $149 degrees in the middle. So when I opened the lid the first time, the rain drips just landed on the back of the cheesecake, and that's where you can see those marks. Although once I took them out, that water had just simply evaporated away. So, a bit of a pain for ruining the finish, but it is purely cosmetic. So I took the cheesecake off once it hit about 153 degrees Celsius internal temperature, right in the middle. Hopefully it's going to set, but it does have quite a bit of a jiggle on when you wobble it around. So fingers crossed. Okay, so here it is from the fridge, finally done. It's been in the fridge now for 24 hours, well, just shy, 22 hours or so. It's now firmed up really well. There is a little bit of leakage, as you can see, but unless you use tin foil on these tins, they always leak a little bit. There's little splotches here, mainly from the rain because of the horrendous weather that I had yesterday. But it seems to have turned out pretty good. As I say, the proof is in the pudding, so that's a much better slice than what I got last time. The colour of that smoke is incredible. It's almost like I've laid something on top. So what do I think? Well, I think this has turned out pretty damn good. The smokiness goes so deep into the flavour profile. There's no harshness whatsoever. With the creamy texture of the filling, it just matches so much. And at first I thought this might have been a little bit too sweet because I was concerned of the sugar content, but no, that smokiness seems to balance it out, and the sweetness seems to balance the smokiness out. I'd say the only bit that needs improvement is the base. It's not crunchy. It looks soggy when you're cutting it, but it's actually just soft. I do recommend giving this a try if you're into this kind of thing. I know it's a bit of an odd one to do in the barbecue, but it really does work. It works fantastically well, and the fact that you can do this in advance, you can even do the base in advance and then do the filling the next day and then serve it the day after that, or even 2 days after that. If anyone's got any suggestions on improving that base, trying to get it a little bit crispier, then I definitely would like to see those suggestions. It's something that I think needs a little bit more experimenting, just to bring it up to the standard of the actual filling. And of course, suggestions on improving my videos are welcome as well. You know, I'm trying to find that nice balance between enough detail but not making the video too long. Let me know what you think. And with that said, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't have a clue what I'm going to be doing next, but we'll see.